as we're just on PK shootouts, a topic I want to hit really quickly, and DDB, you touched on how like the PK misses are starting to go up in percentages throughout the World Cup. The last 3 World Cups, they keep going up, and it's more likely that you miss. It seems like the goal is getting smaller. I think a large part of it, truly, social media growing, the fact that you'll go back to your bus and you'll, no matter what, you'll have 800 texts like, oh, don't worry, you're all good, man. We still love you. And then you have that pressure. You have the pressure of your loved one. You have pressure of the entire nation. You go on whatever feed, you're going to be the first thing that pops up, you missing the PK. I think it's a huge thing that people don't think about. There's so much more pressure now because of how many cameras and lights
there
are now.
Well, let's put up the graphic for a second, and then Bets, it sounds like you're saying that part of the reason this graphic exists or this trend is occurring is because of social media. So for people who are listening, but just to contextualize this, so I think there's been 2 PK shootouts so far in this World Cup, and there's been a lot of misses. And so we went back and we looked at how many misses have there been in previous World Cups. And what you find when you look at the data is if you go back to 2018, you see that there were 39 PK shootout attempts and there were 12 misses. So that means 31% of people are missing their PKs, about 1 in 3. You go to the 2022 World Cup, that number goes up. There's 41 PK shootout attempts and 15 people miss. So that's about 37%. And then you fast forward to 2026, there's been 22 PK shootout attempts and there's been 10 misses, 45%. So that's a 14% increase in the last 8 years. So I want to hear your guys' theory on why this is happening. And again, like,
so we
go ahead.
We can talk about why this is happening, but I do want to say just at the jump, I think this is a good thing.
You think this is a good thing?
For soccer, I think this is a good thing.
Why?
I think penalties being competitive is a good thing. I think it's really exciting.
Why do you think it's gotten more competitive? Do you think, wait, so you're saying it's gotten more competitive. That's a good thing. Is that like, am I putting words in your mouth? Or
no. I think that's exactly what I said. I think you're repeating my words.
It makes it a lot more exciting.
It makes it way more exciting, right?
It makes it much more like, it makes it look like more of a skill now, where like, it's not like, oh, someone got unlucky and they missed a PK and like, poor guy, the whole country. If this is like a 50-50 chip, 45%, that's crazy. 45% misses? That's like basically a coin flip if you're going to hit a PK or not. It's much more skill now. And they were touching on it a bit in the Dutch game where this is a mental fight. This is a technical, how you can hit the ball, placement. It's true, but I think
I like that point. I like that
too. Yeah, I think it's a good thing for soccer. I think
get into the mechanism.
I think the reason that it's happening is I think keepers are getting smarter. I think keepers are getting better at pens, and that's what it is. I think there's more data. I think all of these things. I think there's more strategy that's been developed. I think they've gotten better at it, and I think it's just. There's been an evolution at the goalkeeper position, and you watched it last night with Bono. Like the way he played it was pretty brilliant. Like Somerville took a good pen.
Yeah,
he took a very good pen. He hit it high into the side. If he dives, even if he guesses the right way still, but if he dives, he misses that. But he stays on his feet and guesses, and then he can still react. Yeah. So you get to dive and react rather than just dive, which is what almost every keeper from the start of time until now has done. I think keepers have gotten better at it.
That's a nice point. I think that's probably true. But what's your take? So your take, is it still that you think the pressure of social media and
I'm gonna act like I never said that.
No, put the graphic back up. Leave it up.
So I do agree with Frost. I do agree that goalies are getting smarter. I think, I think back when I was a kid, you watch teams going to World Cups and you have like the assistant coach like writing down or goalie coach writing down on the water bottle, like this is like the guesses of which way they think. I do think that goalies are getting smarter. There's more data. You can look back into trends and whatnot. But I think a huge part that people miss a lot is the pressure that comes with social media. You miss a World Cup penalty, You don't want to go back to your phone. You don't want to go on social media. You don't want to do anything because of the pressure of no matter where you go, it surrounds you now because of your phone. You go back to the team bus, if you open Instagram, TikTok, X, no matter what, you're the first thing that will pop up. You can't even get on your phone without getting a million texts like, oh, don't worry, it wasn't on you, man. So I think a large part of it,
or the opposite bets, or the opposite, you suck. There's like famously Saka got like a ton of
or the hate
abuse on the internet. I know Somerville's getting some of that now.
I'm not doubting at all. There was so much pressure back in the Maradona days, the Pele days of still having television, but there was a tremendous amount more, like a lot more cameras and lights and posting and
well, now you have access. There was pressure before, but now I can literally see what every single fan was thinking. Like back in 1970, if a German fan was watching, Germany's a bad example, they crushed at PK shootouts. If an Argentina fan was watching a shootout, someone misses a PK, the Argentines are throwing, beers at the TV, they're screaming, they're cursing. The Argentine player doesn't hear that or see that. Now, you can go on the internet and say the most absurd, crazy things. So to your point, Bets, dude, I think it is a little different.
Okay.
Push back.
I think we're doing a little bit too much of like social media is what's causing this. Because
listen, that's not my main theory, but I think there's an element there.
I think, yes, it's easier to hear the noise, but if you missed a pen back in the 70s, you would remember it for the rest of your life. Like, people have had hatred for people who make mistakes for their soccer team for a long time. Like, Andres Escobar, who played for Colombia in the 1994 World Cup, scored an own goal and then was murdered by the Colombian cartel. Like, that is a real thing that happened.
Yeah, take that, Bets, Mr. TikTok. How's that?
Like, yes, there was no social media, but it's like almost, I would say murder is like the worst type of bullying.
100%.
My gosh. Murder is the worst. Thanks, Super. Nice insight, bro.
I mean, look, it does not.
My point is, the guy just said murder is the worst type of bullying. Yeah, okay.
It can't get worse than that.
Really. It can't.
Am I wrong?
It can't. Oh my god.
So yes, I think
you're killing me.
It's easier, but like, I don't know.
I think so. I will say,
we're blowing up.
When I first thought about this, I did not go to the social media direction. I went kind of your direction, Super, with the keeper, because what I noticed about the Moroccan keeper is he wasn't guessing. It seemed like his coaches said, here are their likely PK shooters. Mm-hmm. Here's where they're going to go. And he was just standing there.
Yeah.
Like, he just stood where like the data told him to stand, and he made the save.
And by the way, I thought Van Bruggen, who was the Dutch keeper, also did very well. He guessed correctly on a lot of them.
Such an unlucky one.
He kind of scored one of them.
Yeah, it was bad.
Both keepers, even Paraguay's keeper, I thought all of them guessed exceptionally well, which probably goes just like you were saying, preparation.
Yeah. Well, and I will say some of this is on the goalkeepers, having more data, having more film. I actually think some of this is actually, though, that the dance between PK taker and keeper has evolved to a new stage. And what I mean by that is, if we go back to Neymar and Hazard, they revolutionized PKs with their stutter-step.
Yeah.
That was just something that no one had. Like, there was a game which was like, hey, I'm going to dive early and guess so I can get to the corner. You're going to run up and take your PK. And it's like, sometimes I'll be right, sometimes I'll be wrong. And Neymar and Hazard were the first ones that really popularized the, no, I'm going to wait and stutter step and make you dive.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to pass it into the opposite corner.
Yeah.
But I think you're starting to see people catch up to that now, because if you look, and I've just looked at the stutter step does not work anymore.
Messi's pen.
Exactly. But that's my point. It's like, I've just been watching, and there's been small data points, like small, like an accumulation of PKs. I'm like, why is he doing the stutter step? It's clearly not working. The keeper isn't moving. It's hurting his momentum. He's kind of off balance. I think we've evolved. It was like, it was Neymar and Hazard. Yeah, they revolutionized PKs. But now keepers have caught up, and now we're in a new phase where I don't know how the PK takers are going to respond, and I'm excited to see who is going to figure out the next part of this. Like,
it's getting better.
It's it is competitive, and it's cool because to your point, I think both of your points, like, it's a coin flip now.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I want to see who has the next like move here. It's like a chess game. Like who's going to make the next move? Because the Neymar thing, that was a chess move.
Yeah.
Like, he was so smart. He's like, I'm just going to wait
Yeah.
for you to dive. I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna find a trick here.
You have to look at the keeper now.
You have to.
And
Dude,
but-
Somerville didn't. Did you notice? Somerville,
he kept his head down. It was a good pen, but he kept his head down the entire time. Didn't peek.
it's crazy.
But yeah,
No, it
I'm
is true.
excited, dude.
And
I'm excited.
I sound so soft from my from my take.
No, I think that's to defend you. I think that's a really fair take. I do, and
Okay.
I disagree with Foss. Like the murder thing, like that was an extreme example, but I do think the fact that you can see everything. I mean, guys, the haters in our comments, like that can kind of ruin your morning.
So
imagine what they're experiencing.
Okay.
Like,
And I can
Be honest.
you want to read the comments? I will show you the comments. Let's see how.
No, to clarify, like, I agree that like the hatred is never easier to like. It can reach
Deal
you
with,
easier than it ever has.
So
But
easy to hate.
I don't think that's what's causing the actual misses.
Yes.
And I think Nick, I threw out some things there. Nick, do you have any clarifications?
Yeah, so Ronald Koeman of the Netherlands has officially stepped down, and also murder is officially a worse form of bullying than Twitter hatred.
Thanks, Nick. I think we knew that, Nick. Hey, also, you know what? I'm going to fact check you guys. In your example, it wasn't a PK.
No, that's true.
So,
No, that's true.
Bets, can you help me out here? These guys, we were arguing about PKs.
Thank you.
Bring up
No, my
murder.
point was that
And it wasn't even connected.
My
The
point
variable
was
wasn't
that
even connected.
hatred of soccer
you,
players
Davey.
who messed up
got you, bro.
existed before TikTok. That was my point. Is that
Absolutely.
hatred has existed for a long
I do
time.
agree. I also think that there's larger budgets now. My final take, I'll say, is there's larger budgets. I think each team has a coach with high-tech binoculars in a tree. That just looked like that. You know, when you're in training as a footy player, when you're training for PKs, that literally looked like he knew exactly where he's going. It's like having the PK shoot, like your PK taker for your team. And the coach is like, oh, don't worry about the keeper knowing where you're going. Just keep sending it that way, and you should be able to score on him. It looked like he literally knew. He didn't even die. He just stood there. Yeah. I've never seen that in a live PK shootout.
It is cool. To your point, Foss, and we'll move on here in a second. To your point, Foss, it is fun because what it means is if you're an underdog and you can just get to PKs, it's literally a coin flip.
Yeah.
And Bets, I know you think we're gonna just blow out France in regulation, which I hope we do, but I could see us going to PKs, and then it comes down to Matt Freese and his Jordans that we found out about a couple days ago to save the day.
Also the leggings, though, the nerve leggings.
Yeah.